What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today is the rest of the Week 9 predictions as the Steelers won Thursday Night Football because, of course, they did. We're goated. I'm the only one who got that right. RIP Cole's undefeated streak. You should have went with the Steelers. Come on now. I just know ball, and you don't. Anyway, I started off talking my However, I don't need to show y'all how we did last week. You already know. We're going to be moving on. But disclaimer again, as I said in the last video, Eric will not be here this week. We're very sorry about how that turned out. It's going to just be me. Probably going to be a quick video. Let's just get right into it. Let's stop wasting time. Alright, so the Miami Dolphins are technically visiting the Chiefs, even though this is a Germany game. So no one's visiting no one. No one has home field advantage. They've been in Germany for a while now, don't worry. This is going to be an interesting game. I really want the Dolphins to win, as I think that they are a clear contender. But every time the Dolphins face a big team, they just don't win, like against the Eagles and Bills. The only two losses they've had, and while they're respectable teams to lose to, it's just like one time, or you got to rise to the occasion. I don't think they'll do it here against the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs in this one just because it's the safe pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins win. I think this is a toss-up. They're both really good teams, and I spent a lot of time thinking about this because I really like the Dolphins. I think Tyree can go off again. You know, he's always been going off, I mean, this entire season. But the Chiefs just came off a really bad week, and I think they'll bounce back. They're going to bounce back in the biggest way to beat another team that's really good in the Dolphins, so I got the Chiefs in this one. In the next game, the Minnesota Vikings are visiting the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Falcons have new blood in the game. Just kidding. It's a vet. You got Taylor Heinicke starting over Desmond Ridder. Now, listen, I know Ridder did horrible. I don't think this is the answer. I don't think Atlanta has, like, this is counterintuitive to what I said in the entire season, like over the course of the entire season. I think you just got to trust Desmond. I know they think they can contend now. The NFC, it's wide open to take. But you have to realize that, like, the odds of this team going to the Super Bowl is very low. Tyler and Heinicke isn't giving you that edge. It's not like he's that much better than Desmond. At least Desmond has like a higher ceiling. It doesn't matter whether I agree or not. The Falcons obviously have a good team, and I'm going to pick them versus the Vikings because RIP my boy Kirk Cousins. Very sad what happened to him. And, you know, I mean, this is the year, like, everybody's really realizing they should have liked Kirk. They should have liked him a while ago. But I got the Falcons in this one because I just don't see whoever the hell they got started. I don't see him winning the game, bro. I just don't see that happening. The Falcons have a good roster. Will Heinicke just raise them to new heights and prove me wrong? I hope so. In the next game, the Arizona Cardinals are visiting the Cleveland Browns. I don't know who they're even starting at quarterback. You know, they got rid of Joshua Dobbs at the trade deadline. I'm assuming they're getting Kyler Murray back soon. I mean, he's off the IR. He's practicing. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he plays in this game, but he's facing the Cleveland Browns defense. I understand the Browns lost, but it was a close game versus the Seahawks. The Browns are going to bounce back in this game. The Cardinals are just kind of ass. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. I don't think I'm breaking any news here. They're 1-7. They're holding on to that win over the Cowboys for their dear life. It would be funny if they went 1-16 and, like, the Cowboys were the only team they beat. Anyway, the Browns are winning this one. They have a better defense, better team in general, even if Watson is just horrible. If he's back, even if Watson wasn't back, who cares, bro? The Browns are winning. In the next game, the Los Angeles Rams are visiting the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are just absolutely horrible. They're like the Steelers if they had no defense. The Packers don't have no defense, but they don't have a Steelers level defense, and their offense really just isn't good. It's been struggling ever since the first 2 weeks. Everyone was on the Jordan Love train, including me. I thought Jordan Love was really impressive, and it's just been going downhill for the Packers. I mean, they're 2-5 now on the season. It's not looking good. And the Rams, they just got pummeled by the Cowboys. Absolutely pummeled. Absolutely just Riley Reeded. It was crazy. No, this is the case. I mean, the Cowboys just had one of those weeks where they just looked outstandingly dominant. They're just like very momentum based. I don't understand the Cowboys sometimes. Are they a contender or are they not? They do this every year. Anyway, the Rams are going to take this one over Green Bay. I don't care that they're in Lambeau. I just think the Rams are a better team, and the Packers, they aren't looking good. I understand the Rams got on last week. It isn't as bad as the situation down in Green Bay, or up in Green Bay. So I got the Rams. In the next game, we got Washington Commanders visiting the New England Patriots. Now, the Commanders are just in full rebuild mode. With that being said, I got the Patriots in this game. Patriots haven't looked good except for like a select few games. I mean, they beat the Bills. Like, they've beaten two teams this season. They were pretty impressive. I mean, they hung in there with the Dolphins, hung in there with the Eagles, but they've just had games where they also got hit on, like versus Saints. It's just insane. However, they're facing the Commanders, and this is the reason I'm picking the Patriots, is because the Commanders are just full rebuild. I don't think that they're even competing in this season now. I'm not going to say that they're horrible. Not too much has changed, but on the defensive side, a lot has changed, and I don't think it's looking rough, dude, and I think the Patriots can still pull this one off, so that's why I got them at home. The Chicago Bears are visiting the New Orleans Saints. I have the Saints in this one. The Bears picked up Montez Sweat and signed him to a monster deal. I don't understand why they're paying him so much money. I mean, this is like $100 million for a defender. I know this is over the course of 4 years. You traded him so that you can obviously sign him long term. You're not going to get a rental when you won 2 games on the season. But I just don't get it. The Saints, though, just a better team, honestly, and their defense is looking pretty good. I mean, they're 4-4. They're really weird, to be honest. I just don't think the Saints are going to drop one to the Bears here. The Bears have not impressed me. I mean, they lost last week pretty badly. That's why I'm taking the Saints, and not really much else to it. The Seattle Seahawks are visiting the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this is another toss-up game. I think this will end up being one of the better games of the week. I have the Ravens in this one. I really thought about taking the Seahawks, and I don't think the Ravens should be favored by as much as they are. But, you know, maybe Gus Edwards has another big day. Lamar looking really, really good this season. Very, very solid. That defense is looking very solid for the Ravens. A lot's going right for them, and they're finding themselves at a 6-2 record over the course of the first 8 games. That's really good. And the Ravens, I mean, they had their bumps, obviously, versus Steelers and the Colts, but I feel like that Colts game they kind of got robbed of. So, I mean, realistically, the Ravens are just having a really great season. And the Seattle Seahawks last week beat the Browns. I know, like, you think the Browns aren't that good, but that defense is very tough to go against. And Geno and the boys, they got it done. So I respect both of these teams, but I got to give the edge to the Ravens. They're the home team. I think if Lamar doesn't have a bad day, they're going to win. Obviously, you know, they've been looking good recently, so that's why I got the Ravens. The next game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are visiting the Houston Texans. The Texans lost last week, and they gave the Panthers their first win on the season somehow. I don't get it. The Texans look good one week, look bad the next week. They looked like they could contend for the division. I mentioned that in an earlier video. But then, obviously, now they've fallen off pretty badly, 3-4. I mean, the whole division isn't really doing good except for the Jags. So it looks like the Jags are running away with that one. So the Texans, I mean, it's looking bad. They probably won't make the playoffs in this loaded AFC. And then you got the Bucs. But I have the Texans beating the Bucs here. The Bucs are just not playing good. They're not playing good. They've lost a lot of games in a row here. They've had 11 days. Obviously, they played a Thursday night game last week. They've had a lot of time to prepare for this, and the Texans, meanwhile, lost to the Panthers. Momentum-based, my decision doesn't make any sense. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucs took this one. I just think this is going to be a close one. If this was like the first 3 weeks of the season, I would have said the Bucs take this one. But no, I think the Texans do got this one in the bag. I think C.J. Stroud will bounce back from the loss that he just suffered embarrassingly to Bryce Young. So yeah. We got the Colts visiting the Carolina Panthers. I got the Colts in this one. The Panthers won last week. I think it's a fluke. They're not going to win again versus the Colts here. I know the Colts are not exactly a great team. I mean, they're starting Gardner Minshew. You know, Anthony Richardson's out. Sadly, this would have been Anthony Richardson versus Bryce Young. Would have been a nice matchup, but obviously that's not what we're getting. But I think the Colts will still win this one. Colts are just a better team, and that's really all I got for you. That's the analysis. I just don't think the Panthers, they won last week, but they're still terrible. So the Colts just got to play better defense than the Texans did last week, and they'll be fine. The New York Giants are visiting the Las Vegas Raiders. I got the Las Vegas Raiders in this one. Obviously, a lot of inner turmoil going on inside of the Raiders locker room. I don't know what the hell's going on there. They cleared out the house. They cleared them all out mid-season. It's something I honestly wasn't expecting. We all knew it would happen. It's just something I wasn't expecting to happen this soon. However, they just went full-on air out the place, cleared out their GM, their head coach. Everyone's gone. The Giants are just bad, dude, and that's the analysis. I think this is going to be like a very, very sloppy game. And if Daniel Jones is back, I don't think this will make a huge difference for... The Giants just played in the worst game I've ever seen, ever in my life. With the Jets and Giants game. -9 passing yards was what that quarterback had. It was terrible. That game was just terrible. I mean, just look at the ending of that, dude. So after that, I'd be stupid to pick the Giants, so I got the Raiders. The next game, we got the Dallas Cowboys visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. Another great, solid game. The Cowboys, they match up well with the Eagles. They always did well with Dak Prescott starting. You know, since Dak has been in and out of the rotation the last couple of years. I think that the Eagles will take this one, though. Break the cycle a bit to improve to 8-1. The Cowboys just had their random, just like really good week that they tend to have over the course of the season. Maybe they're going to drop the ball here versus the Eagles. I do expect this to be close, but watch the Cowboys lose the next week to the Giants. Just imagine. I'd called it. I called it. The Eagles are going to win this game. I just think that, you know, the Eagles are going to start off strong in the beginning, and since I said the Dallas Cowboys are a momentum-based team, that's just going to go downhill from there. They might try to make a comeback, but I think the Eagles are going to take control pretty much the entire game, and then that'll lead to a win. That's the analysis right there, so I got the Eagles winning. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills visiting the Bengals, and I have the Bengals for one reason and one reason only on Sunday Night Football. By the way, the Bengals are 0-9 on Sunday Night Football. Granted, it was like 20 years ago they started taking that stat. Anyway, I got the Bengals because they have seemed to have the Bills' number for a while now. Like in the playoffs, they've had it just in general, obviously, except for the game that got stopped. It was looking bad for the Bengals in that game, but obviously there was still a lot of ball to be played. However, I still got the Bengals because the Bengals tend to win these games versus the Bills consistently, and I'm not going to bet against them now on Sunday Night Football. They'll be 1-9. Very scary. But improved to 5-3 on the season and really just make the AFC North hell. So we'll see what happens there. And then finally on Monday Night Football, we got the Los Angeles Chargers visiting the New York Jets. I think this is a sneaky game. The Jets obviously didn't have a good showing last week versus the Giants. I just mentioned that not too long ago. But the Jets are going to look better this week. Their defense obviously has been playing lights out this season. And you might think like, oh, they're not ranked very well. Well, look at their offense, okay? The defense is out there 90% of the time because their offense can't do anything. They put up 10 points, 13 points in the last week versus the Giants. The Giants did not play good, let me tell you. It was the most ugly game I've ever seen. Zach Wilson came out and said, 24 seconds? No problem. Zach, what happened to the 60 minutes before that? Or the 59 minutes and whatever. You did not show up to play, bro. 24 seconds, no problem, my ass. You really think you're something, bro. Your defense won you that game, bro. Anyway, I think the Jets could sneak in and win this game in MetLife, but the Chargers, they need to win this game. It's true. They truly need to win this game. If they lose this game to the Jets, their season's probably done and they're not making the playoffs. I mean, if they do go to 3-5 in this AFC, kiss your playoff hopes goodbye at this point because the Chiefs are going to run away with that division, and I don't know what's going to happen. The Chargers need this game, and that's why I have them. But if the Jets win, not only would I not be surprised, but, dude, that's cause for concern. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hopefully next week Eric will join us onto the show. I'm very sorry that he has not been here for the last 2 videos. I know this is not the first time it's happened. Wow, what a shocker. But, you know, obviously we look to not have that happen again this season. Also, here's Eric's picks on the week since he wasn't here to give them. This is what Madden thought of the games, and it's just going to flow like usual over the screen. But yeah, like I said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was very fast paced. I didn't give too detailed like of a description for each one. Very sorry about that, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Kind of running late on time too, so I had to get it out there. But hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe and put on that bell to save your family for another week. You know how this goes by now. I'll see you all in the next video, and peace out.